meditation is meditation. But people have given different titles for meditation. Those who have no religion also can meditate. The followers of other religions also can meditate. There is no such thing as Buddhist meditation. The Buddha has taught us how to meditate. Therefore we say it is Buddhist meditation. Otherwise, there is no special brand, label. But today, they are divided into two groups, Samatha and Vipassana. One group says, we must start with Samatha. The other group say, no, Samatha is not important, we want only Vipassana. So they are divided. But they do not refer to the Buddha, what the Buddha has said about this. Samatha Ceto Vimutti, Vipassana Panya Vimutti. This is the sayings of the Buddha about Samatha and Vipassana. Ceto Vimutti means to reduce so many evil thoughts from our mind. We had to start Samatha meditation. Just like preparing the soil to plant a tree. If the soil is very hard, we cannot plant, anything won't grow. So Samatha is to prepare the background in our mind to practice meditation. If the mind is very raw, very tough and very skeptical, it is very difficult to meditate. Meditate but no effect. So we have Pancha Nivarana, 5 mental hindrances. Through Samatha, we had to, subdue these 5 mental hindrances through Samatha. What are those 5? Kāmacchanda, Vyapada, Thīnamidda, Uddhacca Kukkucca, Vicikicca. These are the 5 mental hindrances that every person experience and disturbances, worries, miseries, fear because of one of these mental hindrances. Kāmacchanda, craving for sensual pleasure, craving for worldly pleasure. If that craving is very deep in our mind, we cannot meditate, we cannot develop anything in that mind. Therefore we had to reduce and reduce and reduce, minimize strong craving for sensual pleasure. Because we have become slaves to sensual pleasure. So to meditate we had to reduce this. Kāmacchanda. Vyapada. We have anger, hatred, ill will, enmity in our mind. Very easily we create inborn qualities in our mind. So by keeping anger, hatred, jealousy, ill will, we cannot meditate. We can meditate, but we don't gain anything. So we have to calm our mind by reducing that strong evil force. Anger means emotional expression. Sometimes anger is not belong to moral or immoral, neutral. Now take for instance, a father or mother get angry with their children, shout at them, beat them. That is anger. But behind this anger, there is sympathy, there is kindness. Because they want to train them properly. Without showing this, they cannot train them. The purpose. That is not under immoral or wicked or harmful, because the purpose is to bring them up. That anger. But anger that we express with certain other evil forces, to harm others, to condemn others, ridicule others, abuse others, then it will become evil, bad karma. Then ill will. Anger turn into ill will. Ill will means waiting to see the downfall of our enemy. Supposing when you heard our enemy had nasty accident and died, oh, very nice. That is called ill will. Ill will. We like it very much because he is our enemy. Hatred. Sometimes we hate our own physical body also. When you cannot tolerate pain and suffering, we hate. So we hate others also. But the advice given by the Buddha, if we hate our own body also, we pollute the purity of the mind. If there is a sickness to create pain or suffering, if we hate this, in fact, we aggravate the sickness. That evil force we created disturb the sickness. The advice given by the Buddha is not to hate, harmonize with the pain, without hating. Oh, pain, 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 pain. Then mind get used to it. After that, reduce. That mental energy support that pain, that sickness to reduce and reduce and reduce. So, we should not hate even for our own physical body. So, this is the second mental hindrance. Kama, Chanda, Vyapada. Thina, Middha. Two things. Thina means laziness of the mind. Middha means laziness of the physical body. Mind want to do something, but the body is lazy. Body doesn't want to cooperate with the mind. Sometimes body want to use for something, but the mind doesn't cooperate, doesn't agree with that. That is called Thina, Middha. So these two things, weaknesses, are also mental hindrances. Laziness of the mind and the body. Uddhacca, Kukkucca. Uddhacca means restlessness in our mind. We experience very uneasy feeling when there is some sort of restlessness, disturb the mind due to certain things that influence or project from the subconscious mind. Certain hidden thought which recorded in the subconscious mind sometimes project. Especially while we are sleeping, the dreams we experience through the influence of the subconscious mind. But even without sleeping, also certain things without our knowledge, subconscious mind irritate, provoke, disturb the mind. Then we experience restlessness. Therefore, we must know how to calm our mind, strengthen the mind so that the subconscious mind cannot disturb. We hold on strongly, cannot influence. Vicikicca. Vicikicca means a skeptical doubt. Doubt and skeptical doubt, there are two things. Doubt means when we cannot understand things, we create our own imagination, or we cannot accept, we cannot understand, therefore we doubt. The Buddha advised us to doubt. He says, first you must doubt without accepting at once. Why? When you doubt, you observe, you investigate, you discuss, then you gain knowledge. Therefore, doubt is important to clarify our mind. Therefore, he says, you must doubt first. Then later you get the answer. But here, skeptical doubt is different. Skeptical doubt means without thinking, without studying, and without knowing, we say, oh, we don't believe that. That is called skeptical doubt. Now let us take, after our death, we believe rebirth take place, existence take place again. And some people say, oh, we don't believe that. But they never study, they investigate, they never use their common sense. Without thinking, simply reject. That is called skeptical doubt. Now, we say the Buddha is the enlightened religious teacher. They say, oh, we don't believe all this. What is the enlightenment? That is skeptical doubt. Because there are many ways for us to think and study to understand what is enlightenment. Then we say, when you do bad deeds, we create bad karma. When we do good things, we create good karma. All these action, good and bad karma, create some sort of effect. Good effect and bad effect. Within this lifetime, if not hereafter, in the next life. They say, oh, we don't believe all these things. We can do anything whatever we like. Now we can understand. There are people who maintain a skeptical doubt, very tough. This is also a mental hindrance. Kāmacchanda, Vyapada, Thīnamidda, Uddhacca, Kukkucca, Vicikicca. Confused mind cannot fix the mind to one particular object, to accept, to understand, to investigate. Some other thoughts come and confuse. Then the mind goes haywire. These are the mental hindrances. By keeping these hindrances, we cannot meditate. Vipassana we cannot apply it at once because the mind is not cultured, not developed, not ready. So Vipassana at the beginning is important to cultivate, to develop, reduce evil forces, to prepare the mind. That is why the Buddha says, Samatha, Cheto vimutti, to release the mind from evil forces. And now mind is ready. After that, I'll start Vipassana. Vipassana Panya Vimutti. The realization, proper understanding, proper knowledge we gain through Vipassana, not through Samatha. Samatha prepare the mind, ground. And through Vipassana, we investigate, we analyze, we observe, we think, then realization appear in the mind. Let us take. Now we have very strong attachment, craving about our physical body. So precious thing. We are willing to spend billions of dollars to protect this. We can destroy thousands of others to protect this. But we never investigate what this body is. Through Vipassana. So the Buddha, in Satipatthana Sutra, the way of mindfulness, says like this. Ekayano ayang bhikkhave maggo sattanang visuddhiya soka pariddavanang samatikkamaya dukkha domanassanang attagamaya nyayassa adhigamaya nibbanassa satchikiriyaya yadidang chattaro satipatthana kaye kayanupassi vedanasu vedananupassi chitte chittanupassi dhammesu dhammanupassi. Ekayano ayang bhikkhave maggo. The Eka means one. The Buddha said there is only one method, only one way for people to gain. Then he has given what are the things that they gain. But I heard on many occasions, certain Buddhists, when they talk, they say the Buddha has introduced 84 methods to attain nirvana. They are entirely wrong. Only one method. Buddha says only one method. They say because 84 items in the teachings of the Buddha. They take as all a method. Now take for instance, when you are sick, you go to a physician or sensei. He gives prescription. So many items are there. But you take only one item and take, you cannot get cured your sickness. When all those items boil and drink, then only one method, medicine. Not the name of all these different items, medicine. In the same way, the Buddha said there is only one method for people to gain. What are those things? Ekayanam bhikkhave maggo sattanang visuddhiya. To purify the mind, there is only one method. There is no another method. Sattanang visuddhiya. Soka pariddavanang samatikkamaya. To reduce, to wipe out worries and fear from the mind. Soka pariddavanang samatikkamaya. Dukkha domanassanang attagamaya. To overcome unsatisfactoriness in our life and lamentation. Because every moment we explain some sort of unsatisfactoriness. Whatever we gain for a short period, we use, we are happy, later we get fed up. We throw away, we want something else. That is called unsatisfactoriness. Everybody experiences this. To get rid of this, only one method. Soka pariddavanang samguna. Dukkha domana sangattagama. Nyayassa adhigamaya. To attain sainthood. like Sotapanna, Sakadagami, Anagami, Arahanta. There is no another method in this world, only one method. Nyaya Sadhigamaya. And 4 stages. Sotapanna, first stage. Then Sakadagami, Anagami, Arahanta, the highest stage. To attain Sotapanna, the first stage, we had to eradicate 3 kinds of mental, we can say hindrances. They are mental defilement. Mental defilement. What are those 5? 3. Sakkaya Diṭṭhi, Vicikiccha, Silabbata Paramasa. These 3 things we had to drop. Then only we will attain first a stage of sainthood, Sotapanna. What are those 3? Sakkaya Diṭṭhi. The belief that we have, we maintain that we have a soul, self, or spirit that will remain forever. As long as we maintain this belief, we never get the chance to attain the first stage of sainthood. Sakkaya Diṭṭhi. Vicikiccha, just now I explained, a skeptical doubt. That simply say, we don't believe all these things. We don't accept all these things. If such belief exists in that mind, never get the chance to attain the first stage of Sotapanna. Silabbata Paramasa, clinging to rite and rituals and ceremonies, thinking through these practices we can attain sainthood. Because the Buddha did not introduce any kind of rite and rituals, but we organize according to our belief, tradition, way of life. So, in India, those practices were very common. By torturing this physical body as rite and ritual, thinking they can wash away all the sins committed by them, Buddha says, no, there is no such thing. That is under rite and ritual. If not sacrificing animals or valuable thing in the name of God to get the blessing, the Buddha says, no, that is not the correct method to attain sainthood. Then, without taking medicines when they are sick, without sleeping, without eating, they die without taking even a drop of water. They think if they die like that, straightaway heaven. These are called rite and rituals. This belief also we had to remove from the mind. Even worshipping, praying, offering, chanting, offering all sorts of things, only through these practices no one can attain sainthood. They are external activities we organize to influence others, to bring others into religion. So, when these 3 things drop, we are already in the first stage of sainthood. When a person attained the first stage of sainthood, Sotapanna, then we can guarantee that this person never become animal, never become spirit, never become ghost, never become devil, never go to hell. Guarantee. Earlier we cannot give this guarantee. Then, if not attained arahanthood, sainthood, rebirth takes place only 7 times. There is no nate bhavang attamang adiyanti, Ratana Sutra. Attam is 8. No 8th birth for this person. Before the 8th birth, must attain arahanthood. When the person attains first stage of sainthood. Guarantee. Then second one. Sakadagami. Sakadagami. Once returner. That means, if not attain arahanthood, after death, only once. Rebirth takes place only once. After that, before that, they attain arahanthood. But the quality is to attain the second stage. Kamachanda, Vyapada. 2 things. These 2 things are very strong in our mind. To attain the second stage of sainthood, we cannot completely eradicate these 2 things. But we can minimize, reduce at least 50%. Kamachanda means craving for sensual pleasure. Vyapada, ill will, just now I mentioned. Very strong in our mind. So when we reduce these 2 things, at least 50%, then we attain the second stage of sainthood called Sakadagami, once returner. That means rebirth takes place only once. Then the third one. Anagami. Never return. Anagami. To attain this third stage of sainthood, we had to completely eradicate the 50%, those 2 evil forces that remain in the mind. Now the mind is completely free from craving for sensual pleasure and evil thoughts or ill will. Completely free. Never returner means, if that person has not attained arahanthood, after death, what will happen? Rebirth takes place in one of the Brahma world. There are 5 Suddhavasa, pure abode. Rebirth takes place in one of those Brahma world. Never come back to this world. And they developed the rest within that lifetime, then attain arahanthood and nirvana. Never come back. And this is another important point here. By taking this, that pure abode, Suddhavasa, Brahma world, when Mahayana schools developed, they have decorated, beautified and elaborated, explained in a very fascinating way this as pure land. The idea of pure land originated, started from there. Then they added many things. In pure land, there are Buddhas, there are Bodhisattvas are waiting to take you to nirvana. All these are their own interpretation, not the teachings of the Buddha. So, this is how the Buddha explained. If that person attain only third stage of sainthood after his or her death, and there is no sex formation, free from sex. So, develop the rest in that particular Brahma world, then attain nirvana. Now, arahanta. 5 things. These are called 10 fetters. Now 5 completed already. To attain arahanthood, we had to eradicate 5 more fetters. These fetters, Māna, Uddhacca, Avijja, and Ruparaga, Aruparaga. 5. Ruparaga, attachment for the formation of a physical body, referring to Brahma world. Because in one of the Brahma world, physical body remains, but the mind is not functioning there. And that body, that life, that physical body does not experience any burden, hindrance, difficulties. Many people like it. Those who develop craving toward that physical body cannot attain arahanthood, must drop that one. Aruparaga. There is another Brahma world. The life and the mind exist without a physical body. Then that life, that mind, never experience any burden of a physical body. Now this physical body is a real burden to us. Whole day and night we have to attend to this. Ache, pain, sufferings, and protect this. Otherwise death can take place any moment. So they are completely free from the physical burden. Craving for that kind of existence. Aruparaga. Then Māna. See how strong this in our mind. We carry this up to the top. Never drop. What is that? Pride. So strong in our mind. Pride. We take race, color, religion, culture, traditions, way of life to bring forward to show some sort of superiority feeling. That is pride. So that pride is a hindrance for our sainthood. We had to drop this completely. Not so easy. See how strong it is. We dropped so many things earlier, but not the pride. We carried. Māna. Uddhacca. I explained earlier also, restlessness in the mind. Restlessness appears due to 2 reasons in our mind, without our knowledge. Due to certain karmic forces that we have committed either within this lifetime or even the previous birth. Restlessness can take place in the mind. If not certain mistake that we have committed early part of our life, which were hidden in our subconscious mind, occasionally disturbed, that we experience restlessness in the mind. So, we had to protect, develop, purify our mind without allowing these forces to influence the mind. Ruparaga, Aruparaga, Māna, Uddhacca, Avijja. Last one. Avijja. Last one we drop. What is that? Ignorance. We carried our ignorance up to the top. Actually, 95% ignorance we have in our mind. Only 5% understanding what is this. Because the mind is clouded, deluded, eclipsed by the ignorance. Therefore, we cannot use the mind. Mind is in the dark. No brightness in the mind because of this ignorance. Then, wrong concept, wrong belief, wrong ideas always nurture, develop by this ignorance. And ignorance does not mean that we do not know anything about this world, this space and galaxies, sun and the moons and the universe, not that kind of thing. Pertaining to our life, ignorance, that we create due to our ignorance. Now, we say, God created this life. We create this due to our ignorance. Because we never study, never think, never investigate how this life come into existence. How this world come into existence. Oh, created by the God, finished. But scientists could not agree with this. They throw away religion. God used their independent intelligence. Then they discovered. Charles Darwin discovered how the life was originated at the beginning, from amoeba, one cell living. Then developing. Today we are standing as humans. Scientific discovery. Religion cannot agree with this. Religion says God created human being. Again, the world. Bible says God created this world 4,000 years ago. World and the human being. H.G. Wells, a well-known world historian, he says, when we read our holy book, we can understand this earth is only 4,000 years old. When you study geology, we can understand it has taken millions of years for this earth to cool down, settle down. That is knowledge. Without developing ignorance, they try to understand how things take place. Bertrand Russell, a British freethinker, philosopher, he has written a book titled, Why I Am Not a Christian. Very interesting book. In that book he says, amongst the founders of all these religions in this world, I respect only one man. He is the Buddha. He has no religion. Why do I respect him? Because the founders of all the other religions made false statement about the beginning of this world. This world was created by so and such time. It shows how poor their understanding about the world. But the Buddha never said that this world was created by so and so or at such and such time. Because the Buddha knew what this world is, not to make such false statement. Therefore I respect the Buddha. Here you can see, those who have not developed their ignorance, they know how to find out the truth, fact, reality. So, here, we do not know why we are here in this world. We create our own imagination. Usually say, what to do, God created. We have to accept, that's all. Without nothing to think, nothing to study. God created, that's all. But others cannot satisfy. Why God created like this? Now, millions of human beings are dying, starving, without food, without shelter, without clothing. Who created them? God. Created for what purpose? To suffer? Is it not His duty to provide their requisite, their need for their survival if He has created? These are the arguments people will. They say, therefore, they don't believe that these people are created by the God. For what purpose? By thinking in this way, we reduce our ignorance. Now, that is the last item. When that ignorance is dropped, no more mental hindrances. After gaining enlightenment under the Bodhi tree, the bliss that appears in his mind, automatically certain words came out from the Buddha's mouth. There was nobody there, he was alone. But these words came out from his mouth. They are called first utterance of the Buddha. Aneka jati sansarang sandhavissan anibbisang gahakarakang gavesanto dukkha jati punappunang gahakaraka ditthosi punagehang nakahasi sabbate pasuka bhagga gahakutang visankhitang visankhara gatang cittang tanhanang kayamajjaka. Tanha, craving. It is due to my ignorance. I had to suffer such a long period. Birth and death, and birth and death, and birth and death, and birth and death. I suffer because of my ignorance. Because I never learned how to get rid of this. But today, by developing this mind through my enlightenment, I can understand why I had to suffer. Because I maintain craving and ignorance. These two supported me to suffer. My craving and my ignorance. Today, I have completely eradicated, uprooted craving and ignorance. Mind is completely free from ignorance and craving and other things. Then the brightness appear in the mind with wisdom. That is called enlightenment. People can understand what is enlightenment. When the mind is completely pure. Just now I mentioned, the Buddha said there is only one method for all those things. There are no 84,000 methods. What is that? Meditation. Bhavana. The Buddha used the word Bhavana. English we say meditation. Actually that word does not give the real meaning what the Buddha wanted to convey. Bhavana means development of the mind. We say meditation. Meditation means deep thinking. The method taught by the Buddha is not only for deep thinking. The method for us to practice to develop the mind. Development means remove all the dirt from the mind. Take out the ignorance and all the evil forces from the mind. Then cultivate understanding, development. That is called Bhavana. So, for this Bhavana or this meditation, religion is not important. Labels are not important. Anyone who has a mind can meditate, can practice this bhavana. First, to stop all the external object we bring into the mind through the senses. Eyes, ear, nose, these five always bring rubbish. Then disturb the mind. If not, mind itself create mental object. Sometimes enjoy. Mind enjoy by creating all sort of thing, imagination. Stop that also. But we cannot stop all these things without giving something for that mind to hold on. Otherwise, run here and there. That object must be a neutral one. If it is a beautiful thing, again mind enjoy beauty there. Then no meditation. If it is a very ugly, dirty thing, then the mind hates that. No meditation. Neutral. Neutral. Most useful, simple, neutral object is our own breath. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. Neutral. Then concentrate only on this. Now the mind is completely free from any external object or imagination. When we do this, mind get the chance to relax and relax and relax and relax and relax. Formerly never had the chance to relax. Every second mind had to work, either to accept or to reject, or to create fear and worry and tension, disturbances, because of the external object. So now the mind is completely calm. When the mind is calm, no tension, no fear, no worry, no excitement, then the organs of the body start from neurons, brain, and glands, hormones, nervous system, blood circulation, heart, stomach, all these organs start to function in normal way. When the mind is excited, all these things go haywire. Heartbeat and blood circulation, blood pressure, neurons, and everything is disturbed. Therefore, when we calm the mind, not only mind is benefited, physical body also. Then we can avoid so many sicknesses through this method. Because all the organs function normal way. Then, meditation is not for the physical development, like yoga. The Hindus practice yoga. There are 10 kind of yogas, mostly physical development. One method is called Raja Yoga, mostly on the mind. So, main purpose of meditation is to strengthen the mind, to purify the mind, cleanse the mind, then we gain enlightenment, sainthood. So as I mentioned just now, two methods that people argue for nothing. Very clearly, the Buddha says, you can start with samatha, to train the mind, train and train and train and tame. When the mind is ready, then start vipassana. Then you gain the knowledge, what this body is, what this world is. Why do we, struggle for our survival? What do we gain? Why do you want to bluff and swindle and cheat and disturb others for our living? This kind of understanding develop our mind. That is called realization, understanding. Then greed, craving, jealousy, anger, ill will, all drop through this understanding. Then attain sainthood. But these people who talk about meditation, they muddle up, mix up so many things, and people also sometimes cannot understand what to do. So, see, it has taken 1 hour to answer your question. That is why one is enough. One question is enough to talk 1 hour. Anyway, I brought my book also to recite and explain Parābhava Sutta, the cause of downfall of our human being. So since not many people here, I thought we should not start today. So the next week I can start. This is very interesting. So Maïgala Sutta, we explain the blessing, what kind of blessing we gain by doing certain thing and keeping away from certain thing. Here, the cause of our downfall, what are the mistakes that we commit for our downfall, for life to become unfortunate. So next week we can explain. Okay. Sharing of merit. One day I had to explain, this one was very important, to explain what we recite, Right. Imina punya kammena upajjaya gunuttara acari upakaraca mata pita piya mama Suriyo Chandi Maharaja Gunavanta Narapiche Brahma Maharaja Indacha Lokapalacha Devata Yamo Mitta Manusacha Majjata Verika Piche Sabbe Satta Kiyontu Punyani Pakatani Me Sukhancha Tividang Dentu Kipang Papeta Omatam Imina Punya Kammena Imina uddisena kippahang sulabhe cheva tanno padana chedana ye santa nihina dhamma yava nibbanato mama Nasantu sabbadayeva yatta jato bhave bhave uju citto tatipanyo salleko viriyavamina mara labhantu no kasang Katunca viriyesu me buddhadi pavaro nato dhammo nato aruttamu nato pacceka sambuddho sangho nato taro mama Tesottamanubhavena maro kasang labantu ma. So, bhavatu sabba mangalang rakhantu sabba devata sabba buddhanubhavena sada sutti bhavantu te bhavatu sabba mangalang rakhantu sabba devata sabba dhammanubhavena Sada sotti bhavantu te bhavatu sabba mangalang rakhantu sabba devata sabba sanghanubhavena sada sotti bhavantu te. So good health and peace of life to everybody.